What's up, everybody, and welcome to TGK TV. If you are new here, know that my name is TGK TV, and I'll be making a lot of Cowboys videos. When it comes to the Cowboys and their particular opponent for that week, I will be making a overview of the game that's coming up, a predictions, expectations, and preferences video. I'll also be making a post-game video, and I'll try to attend every single home game and make a vlog out of those videos as well. But today in particular, I'm going to just solely predict the regular season record for the Dallas Cowboys in their 2019 campaign. But first off, I would just want to say that I am happy that Zeke is finally signed. He was already previously signed, but now he's officially been extended and is back with the team. And now we can officially make a good records prediction for this upcoming season. So again, I'm your boy, your host, whatever y'all want to call me, TGK. And let's get this video started. So I'm gonna go through every single opponent that we have this year, and I'm going to predict whether we are going to beat them or we're gonna lose to them. And then at the end, we should have a final record. I have the schedule in front of me, and I'm just gonna go through every single game. The first opponent that we have this year, obviously, is the New York Giants. Aside from the predictions video that I'm gonna drop later on this week, on Saturday morning, I'll predict if we're gonna beat them in advance. So for this Giants game, I predict that the Dallas Cowboys will win. Now, as far as the video that I'll drop on Saturday, will be a lot more detailed. I'll be able to bring in the actual score. I predict the score and all this good stuff. It's a little bit more detailed in that version, but in the short version, I think the Cowboys should open the season with a victory. For the second game of the NFL season, the Dallas Cowboys will be heading to Washington, D.C. to take on the Washington Redskins. I know they don't play necessarily in Washington, D.C., but you get the drift. Let's keep this short. The Dallas Cowboys will beat the Washington Redskins, and they'll start the season off at 2-0. Game number 3 is at home against the Miami Dolphins. I don't have to say much. That is going to be a win. The Dallas Cowboys are off to a hot start with a 3-0 record. Let's go. Game number 4. The game is at New Orleans against the Saints. Now, this is going to be the one game that I will say I'm pretty sure the Saints have this game circled. They're looking for some revenge. It is in New Orleans. That's the disadvantage. That is the only disadvantage I'm going to give the Cowboys, and I think we'll barely lose that game. Even though I feel like we should be able to beat them on paper, it is the Saints. We're going to lose that game. Game number 5, we are back in Dallas against the Green Bay Packers, and in that game, I don't see Aaron Rodgers having too many weapons. He only has really Devontae and Scatlin and this name and that name. I think he has Allison. I think another receiver, Allison, right? So he has receivers, but I just don't think he has a full team or a full offensive line and a great running back. He has Aaron Jones. He's a good running back, but not something great. And I think the Cowboys defense will be too much. And plus it's at home. And plus we're tired of losing to the Packers. So I definitely see the Cowboys winning that game. So the Cowboys are now 4-1 going into week 6. Now in week 6, we head up to New York to face the New York Jets. And yes, they're going to have a great defense, I'm predicting. And I think they're going to have a better offense now with Robbie Anderson and Sam Darnold. And now they have Le'Veon Bell. I think they're going to be a really, really tough game. I almost wanted to say this was going to be an upset loss. I still feel like I should call it an upset loss. I'm on the verge of doing that because it's one of those games that I don't think the Cowboys will kind of be. I think they'll be sleeping a little bit on the Giants. Giants. What the hell? They'll be sleeping on the Jets a little bit. But we'll see how the season goes along. I might change my opinion, but to start the year, I think the Dallas Cowboys should be able to beat the Jets, and they should be able to go and be a 5-1 record entering week 7. All right, so week 7 is against the Philadelphia Eagles here in Dallas, Texas. And unfortunately, I think we're going to take that loss in that first meeting against the Eagles. Solely just out of, we have to get a loss somewhere. And I feel like the first matchup against the Eagles is going to be a loss, but there's a little method to the madness when it comes to that. I think the Cowboys have something up the sleeve for the Eagles, but that's later on in the year. So we will take the first L against them in our first meeting. All right, guys, so after week 7, the Dallas Cowboys record is going to be a 5-2 record. But the following week, we head up to New York once again to face off the Giants, and we should be able to beat the Giants. They just don't have much. So the Dallas Cowboys will then be 6-2 entering week 9. And in week 9, we'll be facing off against a NFC North foe as the Minnesota Vikings. I felt it in my heart to call this a loss, but because we are home, I'm going to give Dallas the advantage, and we should be a good 7-2. Then the following week, we face another NFC North foe in the Detroit Lions, but we face them in Detroit. Now, I don't think the Detroit Lions are going to beat us. Therefore, we win another game, and the Dallas Cowboys are now 8-2 after 10 weeks. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We're 8-2, and then we have to go back up northeast to face those New England Patriots. And as much as I want to say that we could beat them, as much as I feel like we can beat them, the smarter person in me, the unbiased person in me is like, you gotta give us an L on that. I think we'll probably end up over there. It is November time. Who knows? It might be snowing, and I'm pretty sure we might catch that L. Tom Brady is really good, and I don't see him regressing that much. And I think that will be an L for us, and that will make us an 8-3 going into Thanksgiving. So then we're back home against the Buffalo Bills, and I don't need to say much more. It is the Cole Beasley reunion, but he is probably going to get whacked in that game. And I see the Dallas Cowboys cleaning that game, and we're going to be a 9-3 football club after we defeat the Buffalo Bills. After the Buffalo Bills, we head back up north to face another NFC North foe in the Chicago Bears, and this is in Chicago. And I just feel like their defense is going to be crazy. I think there's three defenses that I would put up there. It's going to be the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Bears. And I think the Bears are going to have probably the best defense overall. I think the Cowboys can be right there with them and battle them for the number one spot. And I think the Bears are going to give us a look that we haven't seen all year, and it's going to be up there in the cold again. Dallas Cowboys isn't a cold team. And I think the elements is going to play a factor in that game, and we'll lose that game, unfortunately, and we'll be a 9-4 football club. And then we're back home for the Rams. The Rams are a, should we say better team? I'm not sure if I could say they're a better team. They have 3 number 2s at the wide receiver position. They have Todd Gurley, depending on if he's healthy or not. They have Jared Goff. They have a good offensive line. They have a stout defense. They are a stacked team, and they're ready to win it all, just like we are ready to win it all. But I think the Rams will somehow edge us out at home, and they'll give us our 5th loss of the year, and the Cowboys will be a 9-5 record heading into the final 2 games of the regular season. Now, here where things get interesting. In the last 2 games, we face the Eagles in Philadelphia, and then we face the Washington Redskins in Dallas. Now, like I said, there was a method to the madness, because when you're the Dallas Cowboys fan, you don't want to have a bad end to the year. So I gave us that Philadelphia Eagles loss in the first matchup as a loss, because in the second matchup, we're looking for revenge, and it's going to be a big time game. It's probably going to have some playoff implications or NFC East implications. And I feel that the Cowboys will go up to Philadelphia and beat the Eagles in Philadelphia and give us a 10-5 record at that time. And then the next game, the next week, is going to be back in Dallas, and we're going to face the Washington Redskins. And I feel like we're going to beat the Redskins. They don't have anybody, really. They don't have anybody, and we should be able to beat them as well. In our final record, my prediction for the Dallas Cowboys 2019 regular season is going to be an 11-5 record, and their home record is going to be a 6-2, and their road record is going to be a 5-3. This is going to give the Dallas Cowboys the NFC East title, and I'm not sure if they'll get a bye, but depending on how the rest of the teams play, they might get a bye. But at 11-5 record, you're not going to get a bye. Anyway, that is my prediction. The Dallas Cowboys will go 11-5 this upcoming season. And again, it's been your boy TGK. I want y'all to sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. And until then, guys, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.